Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about whether or not you should celebrate Halloween as a Christian. But before we get to the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because these videos actually take a really long time to make and you'd be doing me the biggest favor if you actually did do those things. But without further ado, let's talk about whether or not you should celebrate Halloween as a Christian. So Halloween started out as something called Samhain, if I'm saying that right. At this time, it was a holiday that celebrated or kind of like a thing people would do at the end of growing season and at the start of winter. During this time, or at this time, people believed that spirits could enter into the world. And to kind of like ward off the spirits, they would wear stuff like costumes to ward off spirits. Samhain was a Celtic harvest festival that people did at the end of growing season and at the beginning of winter. During Samhain, people would do stuff like try to communicate with spirits, they would practice divination, and they would also try to see the future. This wasn't about worshiping a god per se, it was more about trying to take control of unseen forces. They would wear costumes to scare or to ward off spirits. Bonfires were also central to Samhain. It symbolized protection and cleansing of spirits or from spirits. And from what we can gather, they also gave food or animals to these spirits. Eventually, Christianity rised and took Samhain and basically rebranded it and made it into a holiday called All Saints' Day. And you would celebrate this holiday on November 1st. And this was basically made to honor the saints and martyrs. Also, from what we can gather, they blended old and new customs. So they would still do stuff like wear costumes, the people would. The church would accept minor adaptations, but anything that linked fully to paganistic roots, if that's even a word, they would, strictly condemn it. Or anything that was directly connected to paganism, they would condemn it. The church would also use this holiday for evangelism, and it would make conversion more appealing. And you could still do harvest festivals, or people could still do harvest festivals without fully participating in pagan rituals. The church takeover, when it came to Samhain, was pretty partial. They weren't able to, take it over completely. To this day, Halloween is a direct descendant of paganism. Now, from what we can gather about Halloween, if you dress up as demons or witches or creatures of the night or creatures of evil, some people take this and say that you are intentionally, or not intentionally, but if you do this, you're unintentionally glorifying evil. Pumpkins, black cats, and stuff like that, or haunted houses, even though we might see it as fun today, back then, or these things kind of have roots to paganism. Now, when you dress up as stuff like demons or just scary stuff, it blurs the line between harmless fun and just straight up glorifying evil. Now, a common Christian response is, if they partake in it, something between the lines of, hey, we're just dressing up as stuff. We're not really glorifying it, so can y'all just chill? We're just doing it for, harmless fun. And, yeah, although we see it as, harmless fun, but believe it or not, and if we're being unbiased here, a lot of the stuff that is practiced in Halloween has roots to paganism. And from what the Bible teaches us, because you got to think, if we go off of the Bible alone and biblically and unbiased, the Bible rejects a lot of practices of paganism or practices that are related to paganism. And that might seem like heavy Christian, ugh. But if we go off of what the Bible says about stuff that, is connected and related to paganism, and also they are practices within paganism, it's severely rejected, at least from what we know biblically. Now, from what we can gather, over the decades, Halloween, or Samhain, now called Halloween, got less extreme over the decades. It went from being a holiday that was surrounded around death, talking to spirits, and things between the lines of that. It went from that to being just little kids dressed up in costumes, knocking at the door, wanting candy. And it also went from people trying to communicate with spirits and demons, and people dressing up as spirits and demons, to kind of dressing up as anything. It's not as extreme as it used to be. The like now, like people just dress up as whatever, like literally anything. It could be demons, angels, superheroes, just literally anything. Basically, Halloween or Samhain isn't as extreme as it used to be. Cultural evolution took Halloween from it being something as communicating with the dead, spirits, things between the lines of that, to just like people dressing up in costumes and wanting candy. Now, from what we can gather, or from what we know, Halloween is a direct descendant holiday of paganism. It used to be something, as we've just previously discussed, it used to be something called Samhain, which was practiced, or within this holiday, people practice stuff like divination, talking to the dead, things between the lines of that. And from what we know biblically, the Bible like rejects a lot of the practices of these things. Now, from what we know, the Bible doesn't say no overall to festivals, but it does, like, emphasize, like, yo, you probably, if it, like, don't be going near the darkness, stay with God. Now, from what we know, if you practice, like, sorcery or witchery or anything that is, like, sinful, that thing can have influence on you. Paul in the Bible, to dumb it down and to make it basically in simple terms, he was like, yo, you can do stuff, but just like stay holy to God and don't be glorifying evil. Basically, everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Next, what does this action or this thing you're about to do have an effect on you? So if it has a negative effect on you, you probably shouldn't be doing it. But if it aligns with God and something that, you know, is holy, then you probably should be doing that thing. Basically, you can do certain things when it comes to Christian freedom, but if that thing you want to do involves you, like, throwing up devil horns and worshiping Satan, you probably shouldn't do that. Now, a lot of people see Halloween as something that is completely harmless, and it's not, like, as extreme as it used to be. And other people, or from what we know around the Christian space of it all, a lot of people are like, we shouldn't be practicing Halloween because it's a direct descendant holiday of paganism. It's just rebranded, or things between the lines of that. Today, we see Halloween as something that is harmless and just like fun to do, basically just harmless fun. But back then it was known as something called Samhain, and it was revolved around spirits, death, and talking to the dead. As you can see, it was much more extreme back then than it was today. In conclusion, should you celebrate Halloween as a Christian? As long as you participate in Halloween and it's just harmless fun and you're not bringing any harm to you or others, and you're not glorifying darkness, it is okay. Yeah, but also historically and symbolically, it is a direct descendant holiday of paganism. Although it's not automatically sinful, you should still be fully discerned when it comes to it. Overall, should you celebrate Halloween as a Christian? It just depends, you know, like as long as you're not like sacrificing people or glorifying darkness or just like anything between the lines of that, I guess you're out of the red. Now, since we're here, I kind of wanted to talk about this. We don't know this, and a lot of other Christians don't know this, but a lot of our traditions or things that we practice today, or not really practice, just things that are around, are from paganism. Like, for example, Christmas, December 25th, that's like a Roman holiday. People, we kind of just took it, rebranded it, and just ran with it. Like, for example, it lines up with Roman pagan super solstice, or like the winter solstice, or super solstice, winter solstice. Easter, the name comes from Estroge. This was a Germanic goddess of spring. Eggs and rabbits are ancient fertility symbols. Like, days of the week, Thursday was, like, the days of the week were supposed to be, like, Norse/Roman gods. So, like, Thursday, Thor's Day. Like, the Roman, like, god of thunder Thor. Like, Thursday, yeah. Wedding rings are Rome and Egypt, or pagan Rome and Egypt. They used rings as eternal symbols of love. And then you got birthday candles. This comes from ancient pagan rituals where fire/smoke carried wishes to the gods. Or, gods. And stuff like New Year's celebrations rooted in Roman traditions honoring Janus, the god of the beginnings. Or God. And even everyday stuff like good luck or knock on wood, that stuff is paganism. Or it started off as pagan superstitions to ward off spirits. And what's so funny about it is that Christians, we didn't even try and erase them. We just took them, absorbed them, and then rebranded them. That's so funny. We just took them and rebranded them and was like, yeah, we're gonna run with that. No, it's yours, it's mine now. Rebrand this and call it Christmas. But that was the video. Yeah, thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because these videos actually take a really long time to make and you'd be doing me the biggest favor if you actually did do those things. But, yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I feel like that's about it. Oh, by the way, if you made it this far, comment blueberry. That seems good. Thank you for watching the videos. I thank you, I love you, and God bless.